Red 2 standing by, all for loot, and in the green, welcome back to Donkey Kong 64. Almost done with Creepy Castle. We just have a small handful of gold bananas to go, and then we can take on the boss and move on to the final level. It's been quite a journey getting here. I'm actually pretty surprised that I've managed to remember so much, and for the most part do so well. Beavers and a few other slightly janky challenges notwithstanding. I don't know exactly how we're going to go when it comes to the race Tiny has. But we have a few locations that we can banana port. Note that the camera seems to be slightly above Chunky's head. When it comes to first person view, we're not directly level with Chunky's eyes. At least so the reflection shows. We can see our reflection in the window over there. We have to race the car from Frantic Factory again. And let's see, a few enemies to take out in here. And these shields to punch. Excuse me. It's definitely been an interesting journey getting all this done. It's kind of an interesting journey just going from the beginning of things too. Like way back in the early days when this game was just... That's a nice shot. Can I... Yeah, not bad. Way back in the days when this game was just new. Imagine how much stuff there was to discover. All the things we had to try and find. It was quite an adventure completing this, all told. Because there was, quite simply, so much to actually do. This still holds the record for the most collectibles in any collectathon. It's an absolute marathon. There's so much that can be done. So many things to pick up. It's kind of unbelievable. But that was just sort of the done thing, really. You had those all those collectathon platformers, and some of them are making a bit of a resurgence along the way. Like, a lot of people would be happy for another Banjo game to come along. I know I certainly would. But I mean, around this time, we had we had Crash and Spyro over on the PlayStation. We've had Super Mario 64 leading the way. We had Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. We had... Well, there would have been a couple of others along the way. There was, I don't know, maybe there was an attempt with Bubsy, which is the most charitable thing you can say about it. There was an attempt. We'll get things done with Diddy and then we'll keep on rolling. But there's always been that bit of a fascination with the old collectathon platformers. Even if, as I've probably mentioned, some of it is just a case of a lot of them focus more on the moves than the actual exploration. Now, we will have to kill a few enemies out here on the ballroom. Dare I say it, murder on the dance floor. I got a bit distracted there because it looked like one of the critters in a sheet was moonwalking. Alright, one more enemy. There we are, the rocket barrel. We have to light candles again. This is going to be fun. Then I think we actually get a bonus barrel out of it, which is a little bit more involved. See, that's the interesting thing with this. Almost everything we do is based around our moves and how we use those to get to different areas, as I've said. Mario 64, it was more the exploration. You didn't necessarily need all of Mario's moves. It was probably... the one thing that Mario 64 did ultimately have over these. But I suppose I've just been thinking about things like that. All the different ways games and things have changed over time. I'm going to hit the deck and get some crystal coconuts. Just the way games have developed, all the technological evolutions. And it sort of makes you wonder, are those old games still good in spite of everything? You almost might be tempted to think that they're not, because in so many ways we've moved on. There are so many things, no more crystal coconuts, that we can do with games these days that you wonder why the old ones are still around. Why people like playing them still. There are plenty of answers. They're legitimately entertaining. Oh no, minecarts. Alright, so I've got to go into concentration mode. But really... Whoops, that is the wrong button. B's slow down. Z's accelerate. Okay, so we're okay for now. Slow down, get them on the right track. Get them both up here. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay, they've both made the commitment. Oh, crumbs. They got too far apart. I was going to lose that one, but yeah. Like, games that were made back in the past probably have their flaws more obviously shown. That would be a fair assessment. It was, as David Bowie said, it's not who does it first, it's who does it second. Because you're going to notice the flaws a little bit more readily in games like this. You're going to notice the flaws in the older games because modern games do things so much better in many ways. But that doesn't mean these are still devoid of charm. It doesn't mean they weren't good games at the time. Oops, I need to get out of here. Okay, let's observe the patterns. Alright, let's get past this one. Pull down. Alright, we're good. We're good. We are very good in the hood. But yeah, it's not who does it first, it's who does it second. Because some games that were trailblazers don't quite get the respect from the time. They don't quite get acknowledged as the really good games as time goes on. As you refine everything, as you refine all those systems, you will eventually realize that those games actually do have flaws because they basically had to get everything done by trailblazing. They had to pretty much sort everything out themselves. It's like somebody who's the first to use a certain technique in, say, cinema or something like that might not get it quite right, comparatively speaking. But when you have people who develop it, when you have people who can build on everything, then it winds up looking a lot better. It looks a lot smoother. Alright. We got a balloon in here? No, but we do have a fairly energetic banana fairy by the sounds of it. I'm surprised that worked. That probably wasn't in the center, but okay. Okay, so we can monkey port over to the other room and pick up the last of Tiny's bananas. But yeah, in all seriousness, there is just something about being able to develop all those ideas and actually sort of stand on the shoulders of giants, as it were. Because there are so many ideas that have come through from somebody building on them. And let's face it, there are lots and lots of pioneers that don't quite get heralded for certain things. Like, Ocarina of Time more readily shows its flaws these days, I'm not gonna lie. But it was pretty important in establishing a number of different tropes for the 3D Zelda games. Okay, so got hold of another banana. What are the controls? Z is accelerate. Handling is a bit wonky. Man! Let's see how we go. I have not driven very well. Whoa! Man, it... Oh. I'm not used to this. This is actually very different. This requires a gentle touch on the wheel. And I don't have that. The box respawned! I didn't realize they respawned. I'm gonna have to start that again. Oh, whoa, whoa. I think I've worked out what's wrong with this handling. It's not that it's wrong, it's that it's responsive. I mean, I've honestly been fighting ice physics, I've been fighting controls that are basically making me rip the control stick out of its socket only to miss the target anyway. Like the rocket barrel. And then there's this that comes along and it's like, wow, this is super tight. This actually controls really well. And because I'm used to janky handling, I've been thrown off a bit. I'm actually at the point where I'm so used to fighting janky handling that I'm complaining about the good stuff. Look, I can skip a few gates if I need to. That didn't go so well. I didn't intend to skip that one. Oh, get it tight on the end. That was nearly phrased incredibly badly. I'm in the lead! I'm not in the lead! Alright, get that turn nice and tight. Looks like we got this one. Oh, that didn't take much. That's not bad. And we beat him again. Not very nice of us to take everything he owns. But there we are, wrapped up all the bananas. We can go and hand in the blueprint. And we're all set for Creepy Castle. We've got the majority of the bananas. I think it's a big advantage of Creepy Castle. The bananas are relatively easy to find because you need so many of them. They're often grouped together. I actually think this is a better designed level than Crystal Caves because, like, most of the challenges pretty much were really, really simple. When you actually introduce a challenge that has legitimately good handling, at first it takes you by surprise, but then you realize that you don't have to put in so much work to get there, and it becomes a hell of a lot easier. That was actually fairly smooth. This whole thing has just been so much easier than Crystal Caves. This level is big, but it's easy to work out where you're going because the areas are so distinct. The bananas are grouped together pretty well. I haven't accidentally clipped through anything. This is, I think, an overall pretty well-designed level. Alright, our animation for this time. I think this one combines Jungle Japes, Angry Aztec, and Gloomy Galleon. So there we go, doing pretty well. One more blueprint for DK to go. And we just need to find the boss door. Whoops, got a bit stuck there. Now there should be one bit further down the castle. Let's see how we go and let's just cruise on. So yeah, games like this do still deserve a bit of respect because, as I've said, while their flaws become more readily apparent as time goes on, that doesn't always mean they were bad in the first place. Like, there are... you can admit that something has its flaws while still enjoying it. With games, you do need to acknowledge a lot of the time that they are still pretty decent. There is still that important element. Wait, where am I going? Where am I landing? Right in the water at the bottom. Am I right at the bottom of the stage or am I in the moat? I think I'm in the castle moat. I think near the 2 warp there's a trough and scoff door. Oh well, landed right near where I wanted to be anyway, so... Yep, bang on. So yeah, because I've just been thinking, I tried to bring up GoldenEye a little while ago, and games like that. It's kind of an interesting one, GoldenEye, because it's sort of like an evolutionary bridge, as it were. A lot of these games, in a sense, are evolutionary bridges. They help us develop to the games we have now. And I often think that there are many elements which are a bit more enjoyable. The brighter art styles, the sort of quirky and charming nature of the game. Like, again, to keep ragging on Mario Golf Super Rush. Have I got all... I think I've got all of them with Chunky. Just have a look at Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. That still stands up that stands up really, really well. But the original still had a lot of elements on which Toadstool 2 are built. Like, the original Mario Golf is a bit janky these days, and it doesn't have a lot of features. But it's an important evolutionary bridge in getting those game mechanics just right. You take what works and you refine them. Much like how Red and Blue, they're basically glitchy messes, let's be honest, but they're extremely playable glitchy messes that kicked off an absolute phenomenon. 495, it's Diddy who's letting the side down with 5 bananas somewhere. Probably on top of one of the banana ports. Maybe I'll find it when I get out, but yeah, it's really not hard to find all the bananas here. Like, as I said, Red and Blue evolutionary bridges, they set something up. They set up an incredibly entertaining game. And everything just worked so well and they were able to refine that. The series was originally planned to stop with Gold and Silver. And they were beautiful games. There was so much to love about those. And they built on that. They continued to build on that. And while they haven't... I don't think they've always got it right. There's still a lot that they have compared to what they haven't got right. Like, GoldenEye is an important evolutionary bridge between the old guard of Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, all those shooters, and games like Halo. It changed a lot. It controls pretty jankily compared to what we have today, but that's because technology has developed. It's like say, the science of Aristotle. The science of people in Aristotle's era, like Euclid and Galen, and many other scientists of the ancient Greek era. Their work was built upon by the great Islamic scholars of what Western history has for some time called the Dark Ages. But even then, they were only comparatively dark because we said so. There was a lot of scientific research going on in Muslim communities, and a lot of what we know was built from their knowledge. And then you had the work of the Muslim scholars being built upon by many other scientists. In fact, the likes of Kepler and Copernicus would have had knowledge of them. People built on Copernicus and Kepler and other great scientists. and we've constantly had science evolving. That gradual development does not make the old theories truly bad per se. It's a case of this was the best we had at the time. So, let's get on to this. Cardboard King Cutout is the official name of this boss, but I've always called him Cardboard K-Rool. So, this cardboard cutout will pop up at one of these cannons and fire lasers at us. Where is he, this one? We have to launch ourselves out of the cannon to hit him. The trick is that you must actually shoot when he's there. The pufferfish exploded, I think. Not before. Get your timing right. Or else you wind up losing a Kong. You only have 5 shots. If you can miss 4 times, miss the 5th time and you lose. Might have to wait. He'll eventually start summoning a decoy. I'm gonna wait again. So we'll get that enemy spawning in. We can't tag out. We also can't shoot him when he's firing lasers. Look for the real one and jump into the cannon. And then you'll eventually be able to hit him. It's basically careful observation. You have to hit him 9 times to knock the arms and head off. Pay attention to the sequences as well. That's the real one. There we go. One more hit and he'll lose his other arm. It's kind of an awkward fight, but once you work out the little rhythms and things, it's not too bad. We can restock our health fairly easily. There he is. So yeah, always make sure you fire when he's in front of you. Don't try and predict the shots, because otherwise you will lose a Kong. Patience is a virtue. Basically, dodge the lasers, wait for him to actually appear in front of you. Like... Damn it, I was just too late. So, Lanky is now out of the fight. Whoa, shoot! I thought he'd keep going and he didn't. That's a bit of an issue. We're now down 2 Kongs. That was... Lousy double back skidding me into the cannon. Oh, the camera. Oh, no, no, no! Oh, he doesn't cycle around as much as I think he is, and he's faking me out because of that. That's lasers, so if I wait over here... Oh, jeez, I can't move fast enough. Damn it! And that's the end of the fight. And for whatever arbitrary reason, we have to start as Lanky. It goes smoothly right up until that bit because you have to react so quickly. But he has to be right in front of you. You can't try and predict your shots. Surface. I need to get as close to the cannons as I can without actually going into them. Damn it! Something's always just winds up being that bit too slow. Let's set ourselves here. There we are. That's how you get him. Very careful positioning. We got 2 more hits to go. One more round of lasers. Get close to the... Oh no! Just dropped away! It's a bit faster than I remember. That's annoying. Position ourselves just. Alright, last hit. We've nearly got this. Line ourselves up. Ah! Even when you're right there at point-blank range, putting yourself into the camera, it can still be too slow. And it doesn't help that the camera never helps. There we are. With King Cutout decapitated in an admittedly frustrating, if not overly challenging boss fight, the Kremlings just decide to make a run for it. Thank heavens, we're finally done with that. It is a little frustrating, I'm not going to lie, because if you... And at least they remove the cannon so that you can't accidentally shoot yourself out of the arena and cost yourself a Kong. But there we are, last key. Let me see if some of the bananas are actually on one of the banana ports for Diddy. Just so I can say I've done it. I think they might be on the number 3 banana port. I'll be a bit of a perfectionist. We are just about at time, but there are still some things I want to do. I'm going to make this a longer one because the final section deserves its own episode. No, they aren't. I thought they were, or is it the 4 banana port? Oh well, let's move on up. They're on one of the banana ports anyway. Maybe literally the one banana port, because they're not here. Oh well, a bit of curiosity compels me, but I can hopefully live with it. No. Oh well, they will just have to remain unfound, I guess. Let's make our way out. We will, of course, need Tiny to get to the final area. Caution. Well, that was annoying. I think I got stuck on the wall, but it puts me right where I want to be. So, I will probably grab Tiny for this then, because we do need her to get to where we need to go. We will be opening up the final level and doing the last challenges there. I will then hand in all the blueprints, and we will be good to go. We'll go in with all the gold bananas. Alright, K Lumsies is just over this way. We have done pretty much everything. We've got a gold banana for Chunky, and that's pretty much about it. So, the key from Creepy Castle. We will finally have the way to Hideout Helm opened. Hope I'm still good enough to do the final boss fight. There we are. We do need the monkey port to get up there. And I think we need Lanky to get in. So we make our way around here, go back to where we got a banana fairy earlier and activated a hunky chunky barrel. Look for the monkey port pad. And there we are. We will be coming to the conclusion of our adventure. It has indeed been quite a journey, and it's been very enjoyable going back through some of these older games as well. Knowing that they do still have their place. They should still have their place, no matter what. We can establish a banana port around here. Don't pick up the homing ammo just yet. That's a coconut switch for DK. So yeah, it's one of the bigger. It's probably one of the big advantages of having some of those older games. You do get to see how things develop. There will always be a place for them, as far as I'm concerned. Even if they're not necessarily going to be the best, you have to acknowledge what they've done for games in general. There's just something special about them. Something really, really enjoyable. It's not just the nostalgia factor, really. It's something more. It's sort of... It's hard to put my finger on it, honestly. Blueprint acquired. We can take this to Snite's headquarters on the DK Isles. We'll need to grab Chunky as well. Okay, do we actually get the vines that lead? Yes, we do get the vines that lead to the bonus barrel. This banana for Chunky is Kremling Kosh. Or it's death. That was slightly embarrassing, but yeah. In all honesty, being able to acknowledge those games that did in a sense, like science, contribute to our understanding of what we know now and what we have, is actually really advantageous, because it gives us a much better appreciation of how things have developed. And some of those games wind up being incredibly good, sort of in spite of all the problems they had. Because there are lots of games that do just sort of stand out. They can prove themselves something special no matter what. Like, I don't think anybody would deny that games like Super Metroid are still really, really good no matter what. They have their flaws. They will look a bit janky compared to, in some ways, to modern mechanics, and I know that's kind of heresy to say for a game like Super Metroid. But there are so many little quality of life things that have developed over time that for lots of things we do have to acknowledge that, yes, things were very different back here in this era. Things were very different, but they helped us get here. And I think we need to look at it from that positive sense. Alright, all I needed to do was concentrate. Sorry about that. But we have the final challenges done. I will show off the blueprint animation for Donkey Kong in here. So, guess who's stupid and completely forgot about Lanky's Kasplat in Creepy Castle somehow? It's on the path in between the 1 and 2 warps. Not too, well, just down from the 2 warp. Not too hard to find, really. Except I forgot about it. Whoopsie. Okay, so now that we have all the blueprints, we can press C up to play some bonus games. We have Kremling Kosh, we have Bonkers Barrel Bandit, even though it's actually called Batty Barrel Bandit. We have Beavers, which you really shouldn't be playing. We have Searchlight Seek, which is okay. We have Crazy Kong Clamor, Peril Path Panic, Big Bug Bash, and Teetering Turtle Trouble. You'll play the hardest versions of each one. And it's nice, but it's also really, really not worth it, especially in the case of Beavers. Our completed blueprints look like this now. Every blueprint we get has come in handy. So we duck back to Creepy Castle. I'll see you over at the final level. And then we can take on the final world in the next episode. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.